Welcome back to Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. We're going to continue to try to bromance out with old Brian there. I think today we're going fishing. Apparently, Daddy-O does not know how to fish, and he told everybody he does. So we'll see how this goes. So Daddy says, night, Panda. I brush my teeth and throw on some pajamas. I climb into bed, set my alarm, and close my eyes. Okay, sleep. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. I am wide awake. Apparently, I'm really jazzed up about my day with Brian tomorrow. I can't help but think about the last time I went fishing, hoping that there's something I can glean from it to give me an edge over Brian. I was about 9 years old. My dad woke me up one morning and told me to get dressed and meet him downstairs. It was still dark out. I had no idea what was going on, but before I knew it, we were both alone on a freezing cold lake. I had to sit there for hours while it got hot and muggy, the air thick with bugs. I picked at mosquito bites while my dad sat in stony silence, fishing pole in one hand and a beer in the other. We didn't catch anything. On the long drive home, my father bought me a pack of cigarettes and didn't say a thing. What? He bought his 9-year-old kid a pack of cigarettes. That didn't help, and I think I have some repressed sadness about my father. I'll deal with that later. I'm sitting on a boat in the middle of a body of water. I can't see any land, but I know it's a lake. The water is placid and still. I'm holding a fishing pole. I think this is a nightmare. I don't understand why, but it feels like my life depends on catching fish right now. I cast my lure into the water and wait, and wait, and wait. My whole being is filled with hopelessness as I watch the line disappear into the depths below. You used the wrong lure. I look up and see my father, just as he looked that one cold morning, disapproving. I'm panicking now. I pull the lure up and try to grab a different one, but all of the lures in my tackle box are the exact same. I look up to my father for guidance, but he's gone. I try casting again, but I can't hold my footing. My boat tips over and I fall into the water. Sinking further and further, I see the multitudes of fish that had been lying just below the surface, all swimming around me as if to taunt me. One fish swims up to me. He has Brian's eyes. You gotta use a neutral buoyancy lure if you're trying to catch trout, buddy. I jolt awake to the sound of my alarm. It's fishing day. That would explain the weird dream. I groggily slip on clothes and get ready. I spot Amanda's door half open and see her still curled up in a mountain of blankets. Walking over to her bed, I give her a tiny kiss on the forehead. Fishing day, kiddo. You ready? No. Well, you gotta get up. I can't do this without you. Also, stop sleeping in your clothes. Amanda pulls her comforter over her head. Never. Amanda, I'll get up in a minute. All right, Brian should be here in 20, so you better not just go back to sleep. Amanda sticks her hand through the blanket to wave me away. I leave her room and make myself some coffee and another cup with lots of cream and sugar for Amanda whenever she gets up. Amanda eventually wanders in and chugs her coffee while I do word jumbles. I hear the doorbell ring. That must be Brian. Still rubbing our eyes, we walk outside to see Brian. He's decked out in fishing gear. Daisy's falling asleep next to him.
Hey.
Early bird gets the worm, buddy. You ready to fish? I was born ready. My eyes narrow in on Brian. It's a good day to die. Hop on in, guys. Let's get this fishing party started. I walk over to the driver's side door and open it. Woof, woof. Brian's dog immediately hops into the driver's seat, wagging his tail furiously. Can I see your license, sir? Maxwell, let Daddy sit. Maxwell obediently hops into the back to cuddle with Daisy. Amanda settles in next to Maxwell and Daisy and immediately falls asleep. You ready for an adventure? I'm ready for glory. I struggle to stay awake as we drive to the outskirts of town. Country music plays quietly from the radio as I watch trees pass by. So, where exactly are we headed? It's about an hour north of here. Little spot I've been going to since I was a kid. My dad used to take me there all the time. I don't think anybody else knows about it. I brought everything we need so that we can catch some trout, have a nice little fire, and enjoy the nature. My fishing pole is in the shop, getting it tuned up. Do you maybe have an extra I could borrow? But of course, it's probably not as nice as it sounds like yours is, though. Right. I am digging a hole here. I stare out at the forest lining the highway. The sun is just barely over the horizon, scattering dusky pink light through the trees. For a split second, I spot a deer grazing on the side of the road before it leaps back into the brush. After a nice quiet drive, Brian eventually tells me to pull off the highway and onto a dirt road. The car bumps along until we reach a clearing that opens up to a magnificent lake. Well, here we are. I step out of the car and help Brian unload our gear as Maxwell runs around us, barking. The kids wake up and wander to the shore, where Daisy tries to teach Amanda how to skip rocks. Brian and I carry the tackle boxes and cooler down to the edge of the lake, where he has a canoe waiting. Oh, great. It's still in one piece. Hold on, help me out with Maxwell. I help Brian place a tiny dog-sized life vest onto Maxwell. Woof, woof. All right, your turn. Brian hands me a lime green life vest. Oh, maybe if I fall in, you'll save me. I can swim, thanks. No thanks. It's time, man. It's time. Maybe if I fall in, you'll save me. If I fall in, I'm counting on you to rescue me. Suit yourself. Brian turns to Amanda and Daisy, who are still skipping rocks. You kids want to fish? I'm good with just throwing rocks into the water. Amanda hurls a rock into the pond with gusto. Yeah, take that, water. Amanda, you're supposed to be skipping them. Oh, is that what we're doing? Daisy, don't you want to fish? I think catching fish is kind of inhumane. We're gonna go explore in the woods and look at bugs and stuff. Alright, be safe. Don't go too far. Brian puts the life vest around himself, and we throw all of our equipment into the canoe. Maxwell happily jumps in and takes his place looking out over the front of the boat. I get into the canoe as Brian shoves off. We paddle together to get ourselves in the middle of the lake. Most freshwater fish usually feed at dusk and dawn, which is why I had to get you up so early. Yeah, I know. That's pretty common fisherman knowledge, after all. Fisherman knowledge that I am knowledgeable about. Still a gambling man? You know it. Let's see who can catch more fish. You can catch more than one? Sounds easy enough to me. What's on the line? Besides all the fish I'm going to catch. Obviously. I was thinking something a little more high stakes than mowing the lawn. Custody of our children? More than that, let's say, if I win, I get your weed whacker. The Whackmaster 2000? That's a limited edition. But if you win, you get my pole saw, the Reach and Cut 3000. The cordless version? That's the one. The Reach and Cut 3000 is state of the art. My weed whacker is a prized possession, but there are those hard to reach branches at the back of the yard that have been begging for a pruning. You're on. We shake on it. I suddenly remember that I don't know how to fish. My foolish, fatherly pride will one day be my undoing. I watch as Brian ties the lure and does some stuff I can't quite follow with his fishing pole. He casts into the lake. Oh boy! Now I have to do that. I stare down at the tackle box and at the pole in my hand. Put some bait on the hook, insult the fish, stretch before physical activity. I guess I'll insult the fish. Brian, the game of fishing is all about psychological warfare. Watch this. I look out into the serene, undisturbed lake. Hey, fish!
Whoa!
Okay. Brian did not like that. I turned my attention to Brian. That'll show him. Now what? Tie a knot or something. Perform fish mating call. Meditate. Brian's not digging this at all. As you probably already know, fish also respond positively when tempted with the call of a potential mate. Observe. Gazing out at the lake, I prepare my call. Come fertilize these eggs, baby. Let me get that tail, you slimy fish. You got a hot pectoral fin. Brian, okay, I'm officially uncomfortable. All part of the territory, Brian. I guarantee those fish are horned up and ready to get caught. Let's cast this sucker. I pull my rod back and launch the lure as hard as I can. And the lure flies off of the line and sails far, far away, landing in the lake with a loud sploosh. Sorry, I judged the wind speed wrong. This cold air drives the pressure down. Haha, go ahead, take my pole. I know it's hard switching to a new pole you're not used to. I'll fix up another lure. Brian hands me his pole with a smile, and I just sit there, feeling like an idiot. Oh. A mini game. Ooh. Fishing around here is easy. They group up. All you gotta do is line up 3 of the same species and reel them in. Need to match 3 of the same species. I can't tell which fish is which.
Match that fish.
Am I on a timer here?
Match of the day. Now you're fishing.
Alright, the slappy noise is just
Match
fantastic.
of the day. Catch of the day. Match of the day.
Oh, I am on a timer. Okay, gotta go.
Match of the day. Rainbow trout. Now you're fishing. Match of the day.
Oh, nope, that was wrong. That's the northern pike, a sport fish that isn't great for eating due to its tough, scaly hide. Some fishermen hunt them with a bow and arrow since their sharp teeth easily cut through fishing line.
Now you're fishing. Match of the day. Match of the day. Now you're fishing. Nice catch.
I think I liked the golfing more. That one's unique.
Rainbow trout.
Everybody watching is seeing a ton of them. I'm not. I'm sure. Where are they? There's no matches left? Wow. Well, I don't see any. I don't see any. Oh, I got an A. I guess that's not the worst. Wow. This is way tougher than I thought. I look over to Brian, who's smiling and obviously enjoying his time out here on the lake. I will crush him. Suddenly, the fishing pole jumps in my hand. I reflexively tug upwards. I think I got something big. The tip of the pole dips down repeatedly and the line starts to run. Reel it in. Finally, get the fish right up next to the boat. It's a long, beautiful rainbow trout. Brian hands me a net. It's all yours. I lean down and notice that my hands are shaking with excitement. This fish is bigger than all the ones Brian's caught. That pole saw is mine. All my. The entire canoe tips over with me. I find myself sinking into the lake. I should have taken the life vest. All of a sudden, I'm embraced under the water and pulled into Brian's arms. I'm finally dragged upward, sputtering water. All of our gear floats on the surface. Maxwell Doggy paddles around us in circles, having a great time. You all right? Does that count as one? Well, seeing as all our fish are now swimming safely back in the lake, I guess so. Brian laughs. Let's get you to shore. Brian and I flip the canoe back over and fill it with our now soaking wet gear. We row back to shore with Maxwell in tow. Once we get to the beach, Maxwell darts off into the woods. Come on, Brian. This is a family show. Stop. Brian takes off his shirt. Dots of lake water glisten in the sun across his strong back. Man, all that general contracting must have built that guy like an ox. I hope he doesn't notice me staring. I'm gonna get a fire going so we can dry off. Want to hand me yours? Yes, okay. I reluctantly take off my own shirt and toss it to Brian. I suddenly wish I had done more sit-ups in my life, or any sit-ups at all, really. Another thing you've bested me in, stupid sexy Brian. You might as well fry that shirt up. Seems like it's the only lunch we'll have. The day's young. We can fish from the shore. Once Brian gets the fire going, I sit and dry off my pants. Brian sets a couple lures out by the water's edge. We're probably going to have to put the kibosh on the competition for now. Until another day. My stomach growls. You hungry? Oh, I'm fine. Brian reaches into his cargo shorts and pulls out a few granola bars. I have a small child. I am flushed with snacks. Brian joins me by the fire and I accept the cargo short granola. And now we're back to waiting. Where did the girls get off to? Shouldn't they be back by now? I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're a couple of smart kids. That's what I'm worried about. They're too smart. They've probably established a small rural government by this point and installed themselves as leaders. I take a look around at the sun cresting the tree line, casting the entire lake in a warm golden glow. The forest seems to be coming alive now. Birds chirp in the distance. Wow, nature is beautiful. A mosquito bites me. I slap my neck and curse. Nature sucks. Here you go, bud. Brian hands me a bottle of bug spray. I begrudgingly take it and douse myself. Ugh. I've always hated how this stuff smells. Really? I've always kind of liked it. Reminds me of being outside. Maybe you and I have different sentiments on the outdoors. Maxwell comes bounding up to me, a huge stick in his mouth. He drops it at my feet and looks at me expectantly. Throw the stick towards the woods. Fake out throw. Break the stick in half to assert your dominance. Yeah, just don't mess with the dog. I hurl the stick as hard as I can towards the tree line. Maxwell bolts after it, running as fast as his stubby little legs can carry him. Brian liked that. Which consequently is not very fast. It is cute, though. Nice throw, Daddy. I turn away so he can't see me blush. Maxwell brings the stick back to me, clearly proud of himself. Good boy, Maxwell. You're a very good and speedy boy. You're the world champ of fetch. It's time for the pets. What's the plan? Butt pats never fail. Scratch behind his ear. Rub that belly. I don't know, dogs usually like having their ears scratched. Hearts. I give Maxwell some nice little scratches behind his floppy ears. He responds in kind by licking my face. He really likes you. Be careful. He's going to try to follow you home if you keep that up. Scratch Maxwell's ears more intensely. I'm going to steal your dog, Brian. We both laugh, but I'm only kind of kidding. While I'm playing with Maxwell, fish begin routinely pulling on Brian's lines. I watch Brian effortlessly fillet the fish, squeezing a bit of lemon on them and frying them up in a cast iron pan. Before we know it, we have a feast fit for a couple of shirtless dudes. Amanda and Daisy emerge from the woods looking totally unscathed. Whoa, Dad Bod Patrol. I'm going to have to issue you both a citation and demand you both put your shirts on. There are children present. Brian tosses me my now dry shirt. I pull it over my head, thankful that I will no longer be distracted by Brian and his pecs. Where have you guys been? Studying entomology. What? We were playing with bugs. I expected you guys to be more covered in, like, mud and stuff. Daisy looks offended. What do you take me for, a child? Amanda puts a hand on Daisy's shoulder. Right. We take a seat around the fire, and Brian serves us all generous piles of fish on paper plates. It's absolutely delicious. Why does he have to be good at everything? Fish taste okay? Daisy and Amanda both nod furiously, mouths full of fish. It is incredible. I've never had fish this good. Yeah, it's great. Old Harding family recipe. Why are your pants wet? Well, Amanda, we were out there on the lake, and then I accidentally tipped over that boat. Don't worry, all of the gear floated to the surface, so we didn't lose anything, right, Daddy? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I can't believe he just covered for me. Gosh, he even out-humbles me. He's trying to beat me at everything, including my world-famous sense of humility. We finish our fish and end up playing catch with Maxwell for a little while before we decide to head out. After cleaning up the camp, we pack up the station wagon and let Maxwell into the back seat. The poor pup falls asleep in a cuddle puddle with Amanda and Daisy. They've had a long day. Been an ordeal today, bud. Let me drive you guys home. I want to prove that I'm the most awake dad on the block, but yeah, I'm beat. Fine. As we drive away, I take one last look at the lake disappearing behind us and smile. I rest my head against the window, and the low rumble of the dirt road beneath us lulls me into a peaceful sleep. Hey, sleepyhead. I open my eyes and realize that I had dozed off in the car. I self-consciously wipe a bit of drool off my chin. Oh, hey, I was resting my eyes. Just in case we suddenly have to jump in any sort of conflict, so I'm super awake for it. I'm ready to fight, with my strong arms. It's all good. You earned some rest, buddy. Thanks for coming out with us today. I had a lot of fun with you. Thanks for inviting us. I also had fun, actually. Glad to hear it. Take it easy, yeah? You too. Take it the easiest. Brian chuckles to himself as he unloads the car. Amanda and I get inside and immediately collapse onto the couch. Long day. Yup. I was so close to that pole saw. Pole saw? Yeah. Brian and I were competing to see who could catch the most fish and... Stop! Why do you care so much? Amanda Panda, just look at that guy. He so obviously got my number, and he's rubbing my face in it. Dad, I love you, but you're kind of dumb sometimes. Dumb? Or clearly the superior dad? You know what? I don't have any of the energy required to properly unpack your weird fixation with asserting your masculinity. I'm going to bed. Night. Amanda slides off the couch and face down onto the floor. I am a tired slug. Amanda, that floor is disgusting. I don't care. Well, night, honey. Night, Pops. Date complete.
Of all the dates I've been on, that sure was something.
I got an A. I shouldn't have tried flirting with the fish. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have swore at the fish. Brian did not like that. But I've got 2 out of 3 achievement points towards Soft Boy. Well, It's been a long day. I'm just about ready to pack it in. After a few bites of ice cream from the freezer, I turn off all the lights and walk down the hall to my room. I wonder if Amanda's still awake. That kid needs some sleep. As I pass her room, I can hear a faint sound, but can't quite make out what it is. I get a little closer. Is she crying? I knock gently on the door. Hey, Amanda! The crying immediately stops. Not right now. Her voice sounds strained. She sniffles. I need to make sure she's okay. I open the door. Now, in the dark, I can see Amanda's outline in the middle of her bed, knees hugged up against her body. Is everything okay? I don't want to talk about it. I don't think I'm going to leave her alone. I'm gonna push this. Did something happen? No, nothing happened. Go away. Something must have happened. Amanda, get out. Okay. Quickly leave her room and shut the door behind me. Once the door closes, I can hear her crying again. Wow, what has her so upset? She seemed fine earlier. She's usually so open with me. Did I do something wrong? Is she mad at me? I guess if she wasn't before, she definitely is now. I can't even remember the last time she snapped at me like that. I have a hard time falling asleep, but when I finally do, I'm still thinking about Amanda. I hear Amanda walk in the door. Instead of heading for the kitchen like she usually does, I hear her make a beeline to her room. She's clearly trying to avoid me. Hey, Pumpkin. What? Can you come here for a sec? There's a moment of silence. Yeah. Amanda sits down at the table across from me. So I want to talk about what happened the other night. Amanda looks away. What has you so upset? What is going on? I told you, I don't want to talk about it. Well, you've been giving me an attitude lately, and I'd like to know why. It's none of your business. What happened? Is it something I did? No, Dad. Can't you just drop it? Amanda, please, talk to me. I feel like you're drifting away from me. I don't have to tell you everything. I'm an adult now. You should treat me like one. Amanda, I'm only pressing this because I care about you and I want you to be okay. If you're not going to tell me, then fine. No matter how much you don't want me to care about your health and well-being, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm your dad. It's my job. That's all. If you ever decide you want to talk about it, I'm always here for you. I reach out and squeeze her hand. Always. Okay. Amanda gets up. I'm going to go now. All right. I watch Amanda go into her room and close the door. Amanda's been seeing Brian behind my back.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Daddy, listen. This is you from the past. Whoa, how'd this happen? I figure you're trying to reply to this because I know myself, but this is an automated message from you earlier this morning when it was socially unacceptable to go out and buy ice cream. I forgot I did that. I forgot how I did that as well. The future is amazing. Listen, life is short and ice cream should always be acceptable, but unfortunately, this isn't the society we live in. And it's less the society we live in and more me projecting my own anxiety about being judged onto others, but you know what I mean. By the time you're reading this, it is a certain time of day in which nobody will bat an eye at you for going out and buying ice cream. You know what to do. Be good to me. Or be good me. Buy that ice cream. You know what? I've earned a treat. On the way home, I decide to stop off and grab some ice cream, which I fully plan to eat directly from the tub. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out just which type of ice cream I'd like to eat directly from the tub. Rocky Road, pistachio. Oh, Amanda's probably going to want some too. Better get 2 tubs. She loves cookie dough ice cream, right? Hey, mister. I turn around and see Ernest leaning up against the wall of the convenience store. Ernest? You're cool, right? I'm cool. I'm so cool. No way. I'm shocked you even have to ask, Dude Meister. I asked the wrong person. Could you just help me out? Help you out? There's no fire involved, is there? Just clouds. So if I give you 20, will you buy me e-liquid? Ernest, what's e-liquid? It's like Gatorade, you know, electrolyte fluid. I'd get it myself, but I'm banned from here for trying to run a grift on the cashier. A classic fiddle game, you know the deal. Oh, if you're talking about balanced electrolytes, then I got you, little buddy. And I didn't know you played the fiddle. Just ask the clerk for blue Cranraz Apple Vortex. He'll know what it is. I pick up a tub of pistachio ice cream for myself and a tub of cookie dough for Amanda. I search around for some blue Crazen Void Starer, but can't seem to find any. I turn to the cashier. Say, where's your finest e-liquid? Behind the counter. You got an ID? First of all, my daughter is older than you. Second of all, I'm flattered. I switched shampoo recently. Is that taking some years off? Look, you need to be 21 to buy vape juice. Your hair doesn't look a day over 20. Wait a minute. Are you just trying to butter me up to get me to buy more ice cream? Because it's working. Glance outside and spot Ernest staring at me. Double wait a minute. So you're telling me that e-liquid is not a sports drink. It's for vaping. Ernest is watching us intently through the window. I better go give that kid a piece of my mind. I see. Okay, look. I'm going to pretend that you didn't try to trick me into buying you the old Baphomet's cough syrup and then go inside here to purchase my ice cream. I won't tell your dad if you promise to scram. And stop vaping. You'll get popcorn lung. What if I give you $25? Go home, Ernest. As I'm walking back inside, Ernest calls after me. You can get popcorn lung from microwave popcorn, you know. Okay, I no longer trust this child, but the mere notion strikes fear into my heart. Okay, that's our 30 minutes. The date with Brian went all right. I'm not sure what's going to happen next time. Maybe we'll get into that hot deck building action that we talked about before. Kind of sad I missed out on the pole saw, but at least I got to keep my Weed Whacker 2000. So, anyway, I had fun. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again next time when hopefully we have a better date with Brian. Have a good one.